to have him sell all the runes we need. But in the meantime, we are now going to use our fresh teleports to go to Varrock. And going to, no Romeo, I don't care about what you. I'm going to quickly buy a beer. I think I need a hammer as well. We're going to get this for the Tower of Life quest. And the goal is going to be to get, need a hammer, a saw, and a beer. Yep. So the saw we'll pick up in a second. And then I think, I want to say I can get rid of these runes, but I'll find out. But you need to come over here and grab a beer real quick, just to have it. Okay, it should be good to go. And that's just required for Tower of Life, so we'll be doing that. The next up is construction. We're going to get a little bit of construction levels so that whenever you go to Wintertodt, you'll have some starting levels. We don't need a ton, but this will make a huge difference whenever you start out there. It should be noted, I'll talk about it later, but you don't actually need to do solo Wintertodt for this route. I don't think it's going to be required. And you can, but realistically you'll probably be fine if you don't. It'll be up to you, so that'll be quite nice. And you can do solo to Wintertodt. I might do a mix. I'll probably do a mix of solo and masses, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're going to come up here to Marlow and grab the saw, and then we're going to complete Daddy's Home. And then after that, you're going to complete 2 Mahogany Homes contracts. And I might speed through those as well, just because you don't need to watch it. But you're going to do 2 contracts, normals or beginner ones, and that way you can get some early stuff. And then after you're done, you'll be able to do the Tower of Life. Alright.
Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in here real quick and tell you that you should not drop your death runes. I do that actually several times throughout this video, and I think this is the first time I do it. You will need to clear out some inventory space during this quest, or this mini quest, so you can put some items on a table or something. But keep those death runes, you will need them a couple times. This video is a little bit choppy on the editing because I did make some mistakes and have to try to edit them out, which I will talk about more later. But just keep those death runes, and I'll tell you more as we go.
Okay guys, that is Daddy's Home completed. And we're going to open up the crate. And we have all these teleports actually, so we don't need the tabs. We can get rid of those. And we're going to go ahead and sell the extra stuff at the general store. Doesn't really matter. But, oh actually, yeah, we need to get a contract. So come over here and talk to him. I think we can get a contract from this guy. Maybe not. Maybe I have to talk to Amy and Valador first before I can get a contract with anybody else. But that's okay. Luckily we have teleports. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 Mahogany Homes contracts. And we're just going to use teleports to complete them. It's really simple because you have them. If you get a Falador one, teleport to Falador. If you get an Ardougne one, teleport to Ardougne. If you get Varrock, teleport to Varrock. And if you get Hasidius, then you can teleport to your house and walk. That's the longest one, but it doesn't take, a terribly long time. But just walk from your house, teleport. Get these 2 contracts done, and then you can fishing trawler teleport to the to do Tower of Life. Okay guys, so we're done with that. You could use this extra materials, but it doesn't really matter. It's not a significant difference, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop it. We don't need any of that. You could sell the stuff to the general store, but it doesn't matter because you don't really care about the money right now. You have so much money. Alright, so let's go now complete the Tower of Life quest. Okay guys, we are now done with the Tower of Life. Quite a long quest actually. It's quite annoyingly long. We can go ahead and get rid of this builder's outfit. Put our swag back on. Okay, and then now we're going to quickly do Druidic Ritual, which again, because we have access to teleports, it will be quite easy. And we're gonna do, I'll go to Ardone first because we need the bear meat. The bears are right side of Ardone. But we're gonna get the meats we need in the Port Sarim area. 2 of them can be bought from the shop. We can get all over there. Then teleport to Falador and go ahead. Also, while you're here, while you're doing it, you could also get a cheese and knock out the Witch's House quest, because you'll be in that area. I guess we did end up needing those death runes, but oh man, okay. So we did end up needing the death runes. That's okay. We can get them. I'll come back. I can buy some extra runes over here from the rune shop and we'll be good to go. Alright, I'm gonna get those done. Okay, we were done with Druidic Ritual. I'm gonna knock that out real quick. I hope for real this time we don't need the Death Runes. We also don't need the Saw and that, and I don't think we're gonna need most of this actually in short order.
Spoiler alert, guys. He did, in fact, need those death runes yet again. As I mentioned earlier in the video, my death rune dropping was kind of comical in this because I kept dropping them and needing them. Also, before I forget, a little bit of trivia. That previous music track I played, named Horizon, which is in this area, is actually my favorite music track in the entire game. So it's just really nice and peaceful. It's awesome. So give it a listen. But that's beside the point because I'm actually here to talk to you about the next little section. It's kind of a little bit choppy because I ended up making a pretty significant route change afterward, and I only have a couple of video clips. They don't really line up super well because of this route change, and that is that you're going to be acquiring an adamant axe. And originally I had planned to just use a steel axe from Bob until I did some more research and realized that an adamant axe was actually very obtainable from the greater demons in the wilderness. I have a clip after this that's going to talk more about it, but I'm going to have to just go on a limb here and put a little bit of faith in you guys that you can figure out how to gear yourself up for Wintertodt on your own, because the clips don't quite line up super well. The main thing you need to know is you'll need a rainbow jumper. If you haven't gotten your rainbow jumper, it's over here by the dude. And then you can get your Clue Hunter outfit coming over by Ardone. You get yourself a spade, and kind of in this area you can dig for I think the gloves and the boots. And you buy a scarf, and I think it's the scarf we buy in Draenor Village from Diango. And you'll do forestry. I'll talk more about it, but you're gonna have to just get that set up. Additionally, I'm not going to show this in the videos, but you will use those feathers. So those feathers you have in your inventory, they do have a purpose, and that is to fletch them into some iron arrows. You're going to come over to Catherby, buy yourself iron arrow tips to match the amount of feathers you have, and then when you get started with woodcutting, doing forestry, you'll go ahead and chop logs and fletch them. You get a knife. You can get a knife in the lumberage kitchen or wherever you want to get else you want to get a knife, and you'll fletch them into iron arrows, and that's just going to get you a little bit of head start on fletching experience. But it's ended up getting cut from the videos just because they didn't line up super well. Anyway, I'm going to roll the next clip, but that's the context behind what I'm talking about in the next section. So hopefully it makes a little sense and you guys can get this figured out. Awesome.
Okay, guys, welcome back for a quick update. So I did some research and I decided to test out something which I actually think is worth it, which is to obtain an adamant axe. Now, I think I already dropped it, but previously we were planning to use a steel axe all the way for this woodcutting training. But after doing some research, I found out that an adamant axe is actually quite achievable from the greater demons in the Wilderness Slayer Cave. It's only like a 1 in 13 and a half drop, which is not bad at all. And I did some testing, and the greater demons are easily safe spottable, and you can kill them pretty quick with the wind blast from the magic training we got in previous sections. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I did. I tested it first to make sure it worked before I went ahead and did this recording, and it definitely was, I think, worth it. The adamant axe is about 50% better than the steel axe, so that's quite a big difference whenever we're going to be doing many hours of woodcutting training. So I think it will add up. Not only we use this for Wintertodt, you can use it afterward. You won't be able to really get a rune axe until you get to 60 woodcutting. So using this all the way to 60, you can sit on it for quite a while. And again, it really wasn't that hard to get. So I'm going to show you what I did. I was over here and I went and bought some wines from this guy just for some food. I didn't end up needing it, but I'm going to show you guys how I did it. And then for me, I home teleported. Which I have some runes, but now I'll show you what I did here. I home teleported. The routing for the guide will probably just have you get the adamant axe before this point anyway. So if you're reading this in the future and you've already obtained the adamant axe and they're like, what's up? It's because I learned from doing this that it was probably worth it to just have already done it. Now we went over to Ali Morrison using the runes that we, using the shop that we unlocked. Came over here and bought some runes, notably the teleport runes that we needed for the law runes so we can get around. and then after that, now you can buy your death runes from Ali Morrisane, and I'll be honest, that's actually what I did, but I don't think that it's better. I remembered after the fact that you can actually buy death runes from Aubrey, and he sells them 250 at a time, whereas Ali Morrisane only sells them 100 at a time, and often the stock is, you know, overstocked, so you can't buy them. So it's actually much easier to just come over here, buy yourself some death runes, and you know, I did some math, and I think about 500 death runes is the way to go. You can see here on my log, I'll show you in a second, I got my Adamant axe after 7 kills, so a little bit under drop rate, but I used 130 or so death runes. But doing some math, if you get 500 death runes, that'll give you enough casts if you go about double drop rate, so you should be well within the range to get your axe without having to make another trip. But if you want to, you could get 250 death runes, because that's about drop rate, and hope you get it on rate. But I'd recommend getting a bit more so you don't have to possibly come back. And then after that, also I grabbed a tinderbox. I actually forgot to grab a tinderbox in the previous section, but we'll remedy that. Also, I bought an air staff. I bought a staff of air from Aubrey. I still have all my equipment here, so hopefully you don't die. It's not a very dangerous place to be. Honestly, you're not in combat while you're safe spotting, so you can easily log out. It's not too bad to get over there. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly go to the Ferox Enclave, because I've already used my Clan Wars teleport, so you would just Clan Wars teleport over there. So hold on a second. Okay guys, we are back here at the Ferox Enclave. Now, do not forget to put your coins in the coffer. I actually left the Ferox Enclave very briefly with my entire cash stack still on me, and then saw it and had a heart attack because I was in the wilderness with my entire cash stack. So put your extra coins in the coffer. This is just what I had left over. I'll go and hold on to it, but you don't want to be risking everything. Now obviously I'm risking this just for you guys. I don't need to do this, but hopefully I don't die. The Slayer Cave is just up here a little ways. It's not too bad at all, and you're still relatively low combat. I mean, there's not that many PKers. If you really want to be safe, you can hop to a free-to-play world while you're making this run for even more safety, so that you're even less likely to find somebody who can attack you. But I didn't go ahead and bother with it. But that would be technically the more safe thing to do, is to hop to free-to-play until you get to this staircase. And now we're going to go up here, and I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. Again, these guys are going to be super easy to safe spot. It was no problem at all, and kills are pretty fast. And after we're done with this, I'm going to have to complete the waterfall quest, probably also do Fight Arena and Tree Gnome Village while I'm there, because I want to be able to equip the axe, and I don't have the attack level to equip it. And those quests just need to be done eventually anyway. There are a ton of total levels, and they get you towards the rune pouch. You know, we're probably going to route them in, and there's nothing stopping us from doing it at the moment. We have the teleports, so it'll be very easy. That's also why I grabbed air runes. I didn't mention it before, but I grabbed air runes even though I have an air staff, so that I'll be able to use them to complete waterfall here in a little bit. So now you come here, you can see that there's a couple greater demons that I have tagged. These are the ones that I can safe spot here. The other ones retreat. Also, another aspect of this is that I trained on defensive casting. And actually, you know what, I'm glad I came back, because I'll probably make this part of the guide even, possibly. Because I got some defense levels, and these defense levels allow me to get combat levels. And reaching level 40 combat is actually a notable milestone. And that's because it unlocks the pest control minigame teleport, which is an easy way to get to the Port Sarim area, which is currently kind of annoying to get to. You can get there with your house teleport, so it's not so bad. But having that that pest control teleport is pretty convenient. So I'll go ahead and stay here for a second until I get to 40 combat. It won't be that long. But you stay here and just kill them until you get an Adamant axe. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and complete those quests, and we'll go back to the woodcutting. Okay guys, I am out. Be careful not to die to those green dragons if you take that route. You can teleport at level 20 wilderness. And then now I'm going to go ahead and complete the waterfall quest, and then while I'm in the area with the pebble, I'll also complete Fight Arena and Tree Gnome Village. So you guys have probably all seen these quests before, so there's not much to talk about. So good luck. Okay, guys, hey, buddy. Everybody always gets in my shot as soon as I start recording. And they've got nice little Christmas hats because it is about the holiday time. But anyway, we are not going to show the questing for the fight arena, the waterfall, and the tree gnome village. I figure most people have probably already done these quests before, or if not, you can figure it out with Quest Helper. But the only thing notable is that you're going to start with waterfall, do the quest until you have to go down into this tree gnome village, and down here, whenever you're doing that quest, then you can start tree gnome village, do the whole quest in this area. You can also do fight arena in this area. If you don't know how to safe spot the stuff, then just look up a video or follow Quest Helper, but they're pretty simple safe spots. And then you can return into Waterfall. The only thing notable for Waterfall is that when you're going into the tomb, you can just either drop your items right outside the tomb and run in and quickly grab the amulet and the urn. You have plenty of time, but if you really want to be safe, then you can go and put your items on a table over here, and they'll last longer on the table. You really don't need that much time, but just in case, try not to die to the moss giants. You should have plenty of HP at this point, but they can hit you, so grab some cakes from the cake stall whenever you need to go up there just to be safe. And anyway, finish out the quests, and we will continue on with the next sections. It's like 30 or 40 minutes of questing, I think. Okay, guys, that was some good questing out of the way, and a bunch of total levels. We really like those right now. So we now have 40 attack, 30 strength, and I got some defense from the other sections. And we can now wield our adamant axe. That's what we cared about. And we can go back to woodcutting. I don't think I need anything else, but you guys will probably have a little bit of a different setup. I might keep these. I guess I don't need to keep them, but we can sell this to the general store. Don't really need these right now. And I'm going to go back and do my forestry on the main plan, which is to do forestry until level 50 firemaking, and then Wintertodt. And good luck. Okay guys, I am back, and I did briefly want to say that I have already done all the fletching, so if that's in the guide still, you can do the fletching, so you would need a knife. Also, I can use the adamant axe right now because I have the woodcutting level, but if you don't already have the woodcutting level because you didn't already do the woodcutting for the fletching, you'll need a steel axe until you reach 31 woodcutting, I believe. Yes, 31 woodcutting, so just keep that in mind. It's a quick aside, and I will see you guys later. Okay guys, welcome back. I am now done with this woodcutting and firemaking grind. I have got myself level 50 firemaking and 51 woodcutting. Let me tell you guys, the adamant axe was absolutely worth it. The XP rates were noticeably higher. This did not take nearly as long as the last time I did it with the steel axe. It's much more comfortable, and yeah, it did not take very long to get the adamant axe, and we're going to be holding on to it for a while anyway, so it was very much worth it in my opinion to grab the adamant axe real quick. But anyway, now we are done with that. I guess I can keep the tinderbox, and I'm going to go turn in my pheasant feathers real quick. You can see I got most of the way to the anima infused bark I need. 4,500 with the feathers, you know, that'll add some extra. So most of the way there, and then once gotta go away from this dude. And then once we get to the oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this real quick. We got another. Wait, do I have rewards? I don't know if I've chopped the tree recently enough. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I'm not eligible for this one because I've been AFKing figuring this video recording out, so that's okay. Anyway, we're going to use our pest control minigame teleport, the one that we unlocked previously. This is one of the advantages of having gotten 40 combat, because now I can use the pest control minigame teleport, get me right into that area a little bit faster than, I think it's a little bit faster than doing the home teleport, hopefully, but we're going to go ahead and use it. And the next goal is to go to Wintertodt. It's really straightforward. Everybody does it for a reason. There's no requirements. We're going to go ahead and knock out your firemaking levels, and you don't technically have to do this grind. You know, there's nothing that's you have to do right now, because you can train construction other ways, and even for this grind you don't really need to do solo Wintertodt. Solo Wintertodt is an option, but doing masses is also totally fine, because this route doesn't really require you to get construction, at least at the time of my current brewing, because you don't you're just going to get the Ring of Elements, and the Ring of Elements can start training with oaks pre-level 50. So if you're not level 50 construction by the end of Wintertodt grind, then you'll just do the Ring of Elements training with the oak logs until you reach level 50, and then you can do teaks. And the experience rates at Wintertodt doing masses, especially if you're using the scouter, not this one, but there's the one that you can scout the Wintertodt worlds to make it so that you can hop between them. You can get really fast XP rates that way, and it's much faster than solos. So even though you get more construction experience doing solos, the offset of much faster experience rates means that you could just spend that extra time training construction the old-fashioned way, and it kind of balances out. You get more reward rolls from doing solos, but you know, both options are fine, is my perspective, at least as of this recording. And we're gonna head over there and get set up. We should have access to all of the items we need at Wintertodt. I think they made it so you can get all the items over there, so hopefully I don't need anything other than our axe and our warm clothing, which we have already. But I'm gonna show you guys how to get there. In case anybody doesn't know, there is one way to go that's the right way, and then there's the wrong way that you can go. If you go all the way around, that's the wrong way. If you see wolves, you've gone the wrong way. So we'll go ahead and scoot over there real quick. Okay guys, we are here at Wintertodt, and I'm going to go ahead and head in here real quick. I believe we should be able to get the items we need, but I'll go ahead and double check. Okay, so I can grab a knife from here, and then I should be able to grab a hammer. Yep. There we go, that's all we need. And you will need these concoctions, so I'm not going to crash this person, but the plan is to use these potions. So you use all the rejuvenation potions, you make them with the little herbs over there, and that's going to be your food for the Wintertodt, because they did the rework, and now you can just use that for your food the entire way. So this is really easy to do, and you're going to fletch. I'm going to fletch as much as I can, or at least to some degree, maybe a mix. I might do the mass rolls and fletch one inventory and do normal logs in another inventory, something like that. But you need some points, but you're not it's not critical. You just hope to get magic logs. You need your magic logs for later. Even that's not critically important, because you could always just get 75 woodcutting and chop your own magic logs, so it's not the end of the world. And we're here for the total levels and to knock out the firemaking requirement early on in your account, so the firemaking is done pretty much forever. I'm probably going to go to maybe level 80 firemaking, I think. Maybe 85, it depends on the requirements, but I think that'll cover pretty much every relevant requirement for firemaking for the foreseeable future. And if you ever get to the point where you actually need one of the requirements that's higher than that, then you can always just come back. So I think that's a good stopping point, and we'll see where we end up after that. All right. Okay, guys, I wanted to go ahead and make a quick little clip here showcasing the method that I'm using for Wintertodt training, because I'm not sure everybody's going to be aware of this. So what this is using the Wintertodt Scouter plugin to hop between the different Wintertodt mass worlds, and this allows you to catch a lot faster experience by getting the end of kill experience rewards from multiple worlds at a time, and rather than waiting between them with the 1 minute cooldown between each kill and whatnot. So this is a much faster experience method. It is more high effort, but if you want to do it, this is a very good way to increase your experience rates, and it is significantly faster than solos. So while it doesn't give as much construction experience, it does give pretty good points per hour and overall other stuff. So what you're doing is you're using this plugin to scout the percentage of each world, and you're going to hop to it and try and get your 500 points by the end of the kill. And you want to be really quick about it. This kill is going to be pretty tight, I think. Well, if I don't get it, I'll have to reset the clip. But you want to get your logs and then stand over here. Now, something that's important to know is that you can actually heal this Pyromancer when he takes damage. This is a really big deal to help clutch out these 500 points. So when you're going to stand here and watch, and of course you're going to relight the brazier when it goes out. And then also, so he's about to take damage, spam click him, and if you get the heal off, okay, there we go, you see I got it. So you get 75 points for doing that, and that really speeds up your points and makes it much easier to catch these 500 point barriers. And here we go again. So I'm going to stand over here, he's going to take damage, and hopefully I think we got it. It's hard to tell. I'm not 100% sure if only one person can do it per Pyromancer, or if multiple people, if they do it on the same tick, still get the points. But I found you just spam click right before he takes damage. That would be that little animation. But then that gets you points, so we got there. And then now we come over to the Scouter. See, this world is about 65%. That should be good enough to go. We cut that world and then go to the end of this one to catch the next one. So now we're right off to the races again. We don't have that 1 minute downtime, and we got the world after just one inventory of kindling. Or I probably should have just tanked that actually. Now the timing for this is pretty tight. You can see I just barely made it, and if I hadn't got the Pyromancer heals, I might not have even made that one, because that one I started at like 58%, so it was pretty close. You really would like to hop around 65 plus percent, 65, 70%. If there's no worlds that have that percentage, then don't go for it. If it's like 50% already, don't try and make this world. You're not going to make it. You're not going to get your 500 points in time, and you're just going to waste your time hopping. Use that to make some extra potions, something like that, and you're good to go. So this is just really helpful. If you want to do solos, you can. You'll get a lot more construction experience. You'll be here longer. It's a lot more chill. If you want to do normal mass worlds, that's also fine. But just wanted to show you guys this so you know how to do it. All right, good luck. Okay, guys, welcome back. We are now done with Wintertodt. You can see I got level 80 firemaking. I ended up with 56 woodcutting, 47 fletching, 31 construction. I did mostly the Wintertodt scouting hopping method. I did some masses without the hopping, just on mobile. I think I did one solo, and that did boost my construction a decent amount. But overall, mostly did the hopping method. And I do think that's actually better with the changes to Wintertodt, with the searches being delayed, with the rejuvenation potions, meaning you don't have to go to the bank as often, so on and so forth. The XP rates are so much higher doing the mass world, especially with the scouting hopping method, that the offset is worth it. Even though you get fewer construction and fewer points, I think that you'll be just fine. We don't need the high level construction for this route, because you're going to get the Ring of Elements, and that'll let you train construction just fine without higher levels, so we'll be okay there. And you are also, of course, welcome to go all the way to level 99. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from going all the way to level 99 right now. but you know, we're not going to be doing that in the guide, but you can if you want to. You know, nothing against it. I picked a level 80 because it's the highest level that has any real reasonable requirements anytime soon, and there are some requirements to higher level 80, but not that many, and they're very far on your account. You can always just come back whenever you actually have a need for that. So I ended up getting 319 searches. That's going to be plenty, I imagine. Maybe I'll get a Tome of Fire, maybe I won't. It's not a big deal if I don't, but we'll continue on from there. So up next is the finishing out forestry. So we got the forestry kit in the previous section, and we still have our adamant axe. And I want to go ahead and knock out 60 woodcutting while we have the adamant axe, because that way we can drop it. We don't need to hold on to it anymore. We'll be able to buy a rune axe later from the woodcutting guild, but if we get rid of the adamant axe now and we don't get level 60 woodcutting first, then it'll be a bit awkward. So we might as well just do it. You're going to come over here to Draenor Village, and an efficient thing to do will be to work on your log basket. You need to chop 300 willow logs and 300 oak logs to be able to buy the log basket from the forestry shop. So we're going to just head over here and do that and see whatever forestry events we get. And then after I'm done with the 300 willow logs and 300 oak logs, I'll probably just go to Teaks and go back to the Isle of Soul and do Teaks until I reach level 60 woodcutting. And I imagine that I'll have my 5,000 bark by that point. You know, I think, what am I at? You know, 4,500, so I should be plenty okay by the time I reach the level 60 requirement. I imagine I'll be able to get that bark. Yeah, I can't even do this event because I wasn't here with chopping, but yeah, we'll be okay there. So I'll see you guys back after I have reached level 60 woodcutting and I can get rid of this adamant axe. Alright. Alright, guys, and with that, I'm going to call it an episode. That'll be the end of the Wintertodt section, and we'll move on to Guardians of the Rift next. Did want to make a few comments. First, that if you want to go to higher firemaking, it is a pretty good idea. If you ever think you're going to max or something, then there are a lot of benefits from staying at Wintertodt longer. You get the more experience, of course, getting your fletching. You will need 60 fletching eventually, so if you want a fletch goal for fletching goal, level 60 fletching is pretty good. That's for the Sins of the Father quest, so you'd be good to go there. Getting more points means more seeds, more chance at a Tome of Fire. The Tome of Fire is a really useful item to have for questing and setting up, and just teleports around because it saves an inventory slot on your fire runes. You do have to do some inventory management and whatnot later, but it is a pretty good, cool item to get. One thing I will say, and I'll be touching on this more in the future sections, is that looting Wintertodt, you want to be really careful, because looting Wintertodt is a big pain in the butt. You have to have a lot of open inventory space, and I'll talk more in the future videos on what items that I think you should keep. But if you are going to try and loot early, I really recommend you try to get yourself a seed box at least, because the seed box will allow you to store a lot more seeds, and that'll clear up a lot of inventory slots while you're collecting from Wintertodt. And it's much more convenient, those extra inventory spots. You'll see in the videos probably that I did not wait long enough, and I had a big hassle clearing up my inventory space after doing Wintertodt. But either way, that will be covered in the future. And with that, I will see you in the next one.